All right, welcome back to another hiking vlog, whatever you want to call it. If anyone's actually watching these, I know there's a couple people, so definitely appreciate it. We're out here off Ferncroft Road today, trying to get up Whiteface and Passaconaway. Heard the parking was pretty rough, so I got up about 3:30 a.m. this morning to get out here to find a spot. So all set to sort of gear up and get headed up. I'll be hiking with a friend today. Might lose him to the Kate Sleeper Trail once we get up over Whiteface, see how that goes. But we're going to head up Blueberry Ledges. It is one of the terrifying 25, I've heard. I also heard the blueberries are in bloom at this point, so it'll be fun to head up and take a look. But we'll head up there, and then I think we're going to come back down Dicey Mill once we get over Passaconaway. So let's get this one going. So we just came up the Blueberry Ledges. We're only maybe 400 or 500 feet from the top of Whiteface, just a couple tents out. Trail was, I did get winded coming up. It had a couple steep parts. You do some quick elevation. I mean, after a few miles in, you're already up over a couple thousand feet of elevation, so it does move up pretty quick. The Blueberry Ledges were, I don't know if those are terrifying, but you just want to take your time if it's wet and slippery. But I was showing earlier, there's a good shot of Passaconaway right over here. So I'm going to head up to the summit and then head down, come up through here, and then make my way down Dicey Mill. My buddy will branch off somewhere up over here. So let's get up to the top. So up on Whiteface now. Really couldn't ask for a better day to be out here. Just me up here. Absolutely gorgeous. Take a look at that. So just stopped to grab a builder bar. Hung out for a little bit. Had to enjoy this. Now I'm going to make my way over to Passaconaway and get onto the Dicey Mill Trail. So about 4 miles in up to here. Still probably got about 6 to 7 miles to make it back down, but just going to take my time on this one and really enjoy it. So when you come down off Whiteface, you can take the Kate Sleeper Trail. That'll take you over towards the Tri-Pyramids. I think that's where my buddy's headed that way. He's doing, I think, the south, down the south and then back up the north. So he's going to have a solid, 8,000 plus elevation gain day. Not for me, but that's awesome on his part. But if you choose to take that trail, if you're tracing in the whites, I know a lot of people are, that's one you'll need, and that'll take you over that way. I'll get there someday. So I haven't seen too many blueberries out here today, but I've seen a lot of these things. They look like blueberries, but those are not blueberries. So don't eat those. if you're out on Blueberry Ledge or doing the Rollins Trail over to Passaconaway, don't put any of those in your mouth. All right, so once you get across Rollins Trail coming down from Whiteface, you end up over here on Dicey Mill, heading up to Mount Passaconaway. Keep in mind, if you're gassed at this point, this is a good bailout. You can just head down. You don't have to go up and do Passaconaway. The traverse from Whiteface to Dicey Mill across, it had to be at least a couple miles. I'd have to check and see, but it's pretty much, a grade just going downhill. It's really wet today. Had to really take my time and find footing, so that slowed me up a little bit, but that's fine because I planned on taking my time with the rest of this one anyway, so I'm feeling pretty good. So I'm gonna head up to Passaconaway and get some views up there. So I'm up here on the true summit of Passaconaway. You can see sort of in the middle of the trees for the highest point. So there is a view spur that's a little ways out. I'm gonna head out there and see if I got some views from that point. I will say that last little bit of Passaconaway, sort of a ball buster, especially after doing the ledges up to Whiteface and then coming down Whiteface and all the way back up Passaconaway. It was beautiful trail. I've only seen one person out here today. That never happens in the White Mountains. I don't know how. Besides my friend I was hiking with earlier, I've only seen one person. So been, lucky me to have this all to myself for a solid 6.5, hours, however long it's going to take me to get out of here. So gonna go snag a view from the viewpoint and then make my way back down to Dicey Mill via Walden Trail. There's another little spot you can sort of loop around. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that and get some shots for you on the way down as well before we wrap it up. All right, so the thing about view spurs, I rarely tend to do them because often they're not that great for one. They tend to be a trap because you have to go way back down. That was a lot of decline, probably about 500 feet, so I got to go back up another 500 feet to get back up to go down to connect on Walden and Dicey Mill. But I will say this one, muddy mess to get down here, but it does not disappoint. Okay, so back down here, sort of at that intersection of Rollins and Dicey Mill Trail, I chose to come back down Walden Trail from the viewpoint. If you have to get that trail, grab it. If not, come back down Dicey Mill. It was dicey coming down Walden. Some of the trail was a little overgrown. It was really rocky, slippery. I slipped a couple times, fell on my butt. Might have a small rip in my shorts, but it's par for the course. So gonna go down Dicey Mill now. I know this is a long trail out, so I'll take a few snapshots on the way out if I see anything, and then wrap it up at the end and make my 2-hour drive home. All right, so I'm gonna wrap this one up. Coming to the end of Dicey Mill now, back down to Ferncroft. You know, all in all, I really loved this hike. You know, I did a lot at the top, so the distance is a little bit longer, as well as the elevation, than I originally planned on. So I did about 12 miles and I think about 4,100 feet of elevation. So it's definitely a burner. You know, it will make you work, especially coming down Whiteface, across Rollins Trail, back over to, you know, heading over to Passaconaway. So level of difficulty, it's definitely a difficult hike. The views, phenomenal. Really love being out there and getting to spend a lot of time at both peaks. That was great. I normally don't do that. So all in all, just know your limits. There's a couple spots you can hop out here, but just know what you can do and don't push yourself too hard, especially if it's hot out here. Luckily I had a good day. Weather was phenomenal, mid 60s. Didn't even get through all of my water. Normally I do. So good luck if you come out here and give this one a go. And we have some good stuff coming up in the future. We'll be up in Baxter State Park up in Maine and Katahdin doing some peaks up there. So thanks for checking in. Hope you find it useful, and I'll see you later.